Hey, what's up guys? Got a dandy little project here today. But first, we've got to wash it. We have the DR650 and it's been baking out in the sun for well, most of the summer. I have very few kilometers on it so far this year, and we'll talk about why in just a minute. I'm going to bring it in the shop here. It's a beaming sunny day, but we're going to get it washed up first, prepare to do a little bit of work on it. So my lovely 2009 DR650 made by Suzuki, if some of you are really out of tune with motorcycles. I bought this just last riding season, so last summer, probably middle of the summer. I had a KLR 650 that I sold and bought this, and I've been really happy with my decision. There are a few little quirks, but if any of you guys followed the build series last year, we turned this into just an awesome machine. It runs so good, tons of power, it's geared well now. I really love the bike. There are a couple little hiccups. One that we're gonna fix today, and it's kind of an ugly thing about this bike. Let's have a look. So have a look at this honking taillight assembly here. So the DR650 actually comes, this is a factory taillight. These are factory signals. And then you have this big underhang here, which is the license plate holder hangs flat down here and stuff. I removed all that last year and fabbed up this little bracket, which on one of my very few rides this summer, the last ride I had this summer, my license plate broke off and I lost it. So this bike has been parked for like 6 weeks because I do not have a taillight. That's minor, of course, and I do not have a license plate. I have nothing on this bike, so I've been dealing, because of the virus and everything that's going on now. Motor registration is so unbelievably slow. It's hard to communicate. You can't actually go into the office. You have to deal with it through email and stuff, and it's just brutal. So I'm still working on trying to get a plate for it, but on my last ride I had that I lost that plate, I also broke my taillight. Now I repaired it once before. It was broken when I got the bike. So a very common mod in the DR650 community is to get rid of this ugly giant taillight assembly, which it is a little bit ugly. Some of you OEM guys who really like stuff kept stock might like it. But for one, I'll show you the big problem with it in a second. But it's known that the DRZ250 taillight fits right on there. Now look at that light. Suzuki, why didn't you do that from factory? Just look at how nice this taillight is. It's a factory direct setup. It's the same fender, it fits right on there. We'll see what we'll have to do with the wiring. I sourced my light from ProCycle.com, which is in the US, so I get killed with shippings and customs, but I could not seem to source the light anywhere here in Canada, so So here's the big problem right here. You have this metal bracket, this flat plate that mounts right here, and then you have all of this steel bracket that comes out up here. You have all this headlight assembly that's out here off the back end, which is quite at the far end of the rear axle as well. So you do get the most movement back here and all that weight. And what happens is this fracture right here. This was already, it was broke when I got it. I did some welding and now I can see that it's broken in another place. So there's just there's so much stress back here, and this is a heavy taillight. If you lift this here, it has some weight back on this end. It's just not a good setup.
So the first step is to remove the side panels, and that is so you can remove the seat. Once the seat is off the bike, you have access to the connection, which is right off the main harness here. You see there are 3 wires, just 3 little connector plugs. You can unplug those after you pull back the dust covers, and you can feed those 3 wires, your main line to your tail light, back through the frame. It just weaves. Take note of how it weaves through the frame. I cleaned out the housing here for the new light just so it's nice and clean and gets a good seal beneath there. Some brake cleaner works great for something like this because it evaporates. You're not left with a whole bunch of cleaners or mess that has to dry up. It just dries by itself. Next, you'll feed your new light through, and the new light from ProCycle comes with a nice rubber grommet to fit in here. And these rubber grommets can be kind of sticky and hard to get through these holes. It helps to have some lubricant. Brake cleaner is the perfect solution here because if you use something like a WD-40, it'll help it go in easy, but then it stays greasy. Brake cleaner will make it wet, nice and slick, just for a few seconds for you to push it through, and then it evaporates. So it's nice and dry, and that rubber is going to be very hard to come back out. Once your light is seated here, you can weave your wire back up through the frame and push those plugs back together. These are very nice, simple connectors and make for a clean fit. Pull your dust covers back up over once you get those plugs done. That'll keep everything nice and clean and just help secure your connection a little more. And it's just as simple as white to white, black to black, and gray to gray. Now, when I disconnected these, one of the dust covers, the third one, the last one I'm about to do here, was, or it had a torn cover. So I just grabbed a little bit of heat shrink tubing to put on there beforehand. That's what I'm sliding up over here now so that I can seal up that connection. So all 3 are nice and tight, nice and clean. We shouldn't have any problems. Once you're done with those, you'll feed those back down, right back into the resting place. And we have a working taillight. Look how good that looks. Isn't that awesome? Everything works just as it should. This could not be easier. Since I had the side panels off, I figured it was a good time to do a little filter clean, just since this bike has been sitting. The filter hasn't been off since last riding season, and thought it would be a good time to blow it out, give it a little light oiling.
Now I know the paint or the tank here probably looks decent and shiny to you guys here on camera, but it is pretty rough looking now compared to what it was. It's just sat out there kind of baked and sat under the tree all summer. So there's bird excrement, I'll say, on it, and all the grit, vehicles passing by. It's just not looking its nice deep self. So got some Meguiar's Ultimate Compound here. That compound does a real nice job cutting the clear coat. And then I've got the Meguiar's Ultimate Polish here just for a finish coat. And it really does make a difference. You do it on the side of a dark colored truck, it really does make a difference. Put some life back into this paint. The reason I can do this with this tank, you wouldn't normally be able to do this with another dirt bike tank. But this is metal tank. That means like auto body spray paint, automotive clear coat. It's not a plastic tank, which makes a difference. These products are designed for automotive, very hard clear coats. So that's a wrap, guys. I got that tail light replaced, and doesn't that look so much better? I mean, just transforms the look of the back end of the bike, in my opinion. We got that pipe. Maybe I will invest in some smaller signals, some more compact. I do like those signals though, so we'll see. Got the good rubber on there still. The rubber is still mint. Chain and sprockets are mint new last year. The bike is great. I do want to do a little bit of front end work. I might have to do the fork seals in mine as well, like we did with Dad's earlier this year. But I'm not looking forward to that, so we'll see. It won't be too bad when we do it, but it might soon be time, probably once this riding season is over. I'm also considering, I want your guys' feedback. This tank, like I mentioned, is a steel tank done with automotive paint, which means it's also a good candidate for repainting. Now there are some chips and stuff in the paint, so if it was pristine, maybe I'd consider leaving it OEM, but given the few marks and stuff on it, and my desire to make this bike unique, to make it more of my own, I want to do a custom paint job on this tank, and I want to do it myself. I've wanted to learn like automotive style painting for a long time, and I'm thinking about picking up some of the gear and giving it a try myself this winter. So I'd like to do this tank. What color do you think I should do it? I had some different ideas. I thought about getting close to a Suzuki yellow, but with a real strong metallic, so a little richer, and then getting some new graphics and clear coating them in there. Have some different ideas, but I'd like to hear what you guys are thinking. So the side panels, all the fenders are all black. The front cowl there is black, and they're all plastic, so they won't be changed out. They'll be staying just like they are. So all will be changed is that tank. What kind of color scheme do you think I should go with? Hoping to get that plate soon so I can do some riding. Hopefully get you guys a little bit of riding footage or something like that. But yeah, we're done for the day. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more motorcycle content, hit that like button, share the video, and let me know down below. And like I said, tell me what color you'd like to see that tank. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.